this is day 9.
Day 9.
So we're actually going to get to San Fran on the 9th day.
We counted it as day 9 because we actually started from Port Angeles. So most people start their journey from Mia Bay.
Yeah, so it would have been 8.
So 8 days on the ocean.
Yeah.
9 days in total because
since we left land.
Since we left land because we didn't stop. So
9 days since our dog got to run on the beach.
9 days. And
she's happy though.
Falling asleep a lot now because that's all she gets to do these days.
Yeah.
Doesn't get to have any activities. She's down here in the rocking boat, listening to sounds that are terrifying the shit out of her. We were never down here.
No,
right? We were
all hands
always
on deck.
Yeah. Poor thing.
Poor baby.
Yeah. But we're gonna see San Francisco today.
Oh, we're so close now.
So close.
We are 6 hours from the Bay Bridge, but we are still somewhere between the Farallon Islands and the mainland, and 5 hours and 45 minutes now ETA. So yeah, we're moving along pretty well. Crossing the.
I can see the shapes of land. It's not super clear, but
we're crossing the shipping channel now. There's no oncoming traffic, and we're not exactly a 45 degree or whatever 90 degree angle to it right now, but there's no one coming, and there's actually decent visibility right now. So we're gonna scoot across it and head into the north entrance. According to our guide, it's the favored route in for recreational vessels. So you can come up in here through what they call the potato patch. And it's like all marked off with channel markers. And that way you avoid all the shipping lanes and you can kind of scoot up on the incoming side outside of the lanes underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. Hopefully we'll actually get to see it today. That would be pretty cool.
That would be so sweet to be able to see it. We are so grateful that our arrival has coincided with a good window for entering the bay.
Yeah.
With the flooding and the currents, the wind's not too crazy.
No, it's actually really light winds today.
So,
small seas, 3 feet.
So glad.
Yeah, I think we paid some dues out there. We deserve an easy entry.
Well, this entry doesn't make up for everything we went through,
no, it
but
sure
I
hasn't.
will take it. It's certainly nice to have that kind of relief because I'm spiritually exhausted among other things.
That took it all out of us, man.
I took it out of me. I had a bit of a breakdown this afternoon, quickly, just to emotionally purge everything that I wasn't able to in the moment because it was just too busy.
Oh, it was
so
incredibly
it's funny
difficult.
how that works. Actually, that's what I found interesting. Was that, like, I was amazed at how collected we still were. Like, obviously we were like freaked and, you know, stressed and tired, but I was actually amazed at how sturdy we still seemed and on it. Like, we were still getting things done. We were still in a good mood.
We were reasonably well spirited through it,
which was amazing to me.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a survival mechanism, but like, yeah, this afternoon, just like realizing we were about to make landfall, I was suddenly like, it felt like someone let my drain plug out and like, everything kind of left, and I felt empty, like staticky inside. You know, just this weird emptiness, like, of everything, and I just felt the need to like cry a little bit, just to get it all out. I think, because I think I was obviously not processing anything properly, because there was just no time. Like, it was so hectic.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And the realization of like, not only what we've just come through, but now what we've got to endure again to get our boat back to par, right? Like, we took a shit kicking out there, so I think
we took a hard beating.
I think it's a little bit disappointing that we went through such a rigorous trial, and at the end of it, it's not like we just get to pull in and be like, sweet, let's go to the beach. Right. No, it's like, sweet, we gotta haul out our boat and do welding work, and it's like,
we spent so long preparing for this, working on the boat over the year we had it at the dock, and then in the summer making things like shake loose so that we could get those fixed and ready to go. So I felt like, obviously we had built it up, like this was finally the vacation. We could finally enjoy the sail.
Once we just get there, we'll have
I know, right? So,
so
expectations.
That's a big wind out of our sails, so to speak, right? Like, I'm trying to stay pretty positive about it because at least it's still part of the adventure. We get to get our boat sorted out, fixed up correctly, in a place where there should be lots of services to do just that. And
I know. It's
and
only human to have these emotions.
Oh no, it is, and
there's nothing wrong with them.
It's easy. It's easy to get frustrated by that kind of stuff. That was a very, very rough passage, by all measures. And
we had some interesting things. We saw dolphins.
Yeah, there was a couple good sailing moments, and even that moment where we were just tacked right to the weather there and sailing up those waves. It was 90% terror and 10% just amazement at.
You were like a switch flip. You went from all terror to all like, this is wild.
Oh, it was like
you were so dissociatively processing it.
I was like completely dissociated from it, because it was like in the moment it was like any one of those waves could have broached us and like fucking rolled the boat. They were big enough to do it. Yeah. But at the same time, like the amazement of how this boat just was like climbing those waves, right, and the pounding it was taking, and sitting in this chair looking out the window and watching it just fucking rocket through that shit. I was just like, I know how bad this could go, but at the same time I was like, I'm in a tank right now, and this tank's just clobbering the shit out of these waves, right?
It was like a moment of disbelief to just be standing here in the dark, but you see waves crashing over all your windows at once.
Right over the whole boat.
Like just like you've submerged underwater for a second.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, like, and then you see it come in through the hatches.
And the sound of the wind, just like, wow, like just everything whistling and shaking like crazy. And when the nose
came down on a wave, it was just like, bang, like someone just blew a cannon next to you.
Oh, so loud.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So it's like this the whole time. You felt like you were some kind of nightmare ride, and there's no exit. Like,
no way.
You're on it till it's over. And whatever that meant.
We were captive to that moment for sure.
It was really intense.
Like, I'm not surprised that if there was any degradation of the plating around that rudder, that would be the time it would show weakness, because
this autopilot is a fucking champ.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it got us through those.
The freaking Simrad Robertson AP20. Unfriggin' real.
Unfriggin' real. It steered all through that night.
For like 3 nights straight.
35 knot galing.
Yeah.
And waves the size of like the boat. I'm so grateful for that.
Oh my god, if I had to have been outside steering through that shit all night.
We would have lost you.
Yeah, probably.
You would have gone flying. I was watching it through the hatch in the back too.
Oh, were you?
It was pounding the back as well.
Oh, I didn't even see how much water was moving back there. Oh, I could only see it come over the bow.
Why do you think the deck chair moved?
Yeah, our whole like
it's
life raft slid
with the seat, the life raft, everything is lashed so many times to the railing,
yeah.
Plus, like, actually,
it's got clamps, like metal
clamps on, but it was shoved down the deck as far as it would go.
I thought we would have lost our barbecue and a solar panel. I thought for sure we were gonna at least rip one of those panels off, and they made it.
Hey, there's another good kudos to magma brackets.
Yeah, those brackets are friggin' amazing.
Magma brackets on the barbecue and the solar panels.
Yeah. So. with the frame enhancement that I did on those panels was enough. I'm blown away by how strong that setup is. Really strong.
Really cool to see what did manage to go through that and come out a champ. So
oh yeah.
That's really interesting. Good way to test your stuff. Okay, so another thing that happened on our lovely excursion on the ocean was an experience with chafing. So with the extreme winds we were receiving, the one point we were raising our whisker pole, this is the halyard for the whisker pole, and the little metal guard, well, it's a metal wire with like a plastic guard on it, right? Exposed a little bit of the actual wire part, and that started rubbing against the halyard, and this happened pretty darn quickly. Like,
we flew for like a handful of hours that day, and then all of a sudden that pole fell, and then sliced right through it.
This is one of the thicker lines you can get.
Yeah, that's a big halyard.
This is a big ass halyard, and that is what happened. So that pole came down. We know we need to keep those things covered.
So, you know what? We should probably replace that halyard. Actually, I have concerns about that halyard.
Yeah, no shit, eh?
It's
an older one. I mean, it's still strong.
It's huge, but
like, I'm sure like the core is still intact, but like you say, age, right?
Yeah.
So we're experiencing age with everything on this boat. You know, 10-plus-year-old sail track is the reason probably why our new sail ripped it to shreds.
Yeah.
So another thing just to be cautious about seagoers is chafing. If anything's touching anything, it will chafe under like strong enough winds.
Oh yeah.
Pretty fucking quick. So that's a security issue, safety. Like, you don't want your halyards snapping in the middle of a fucking gale. So
Yeah, it did.
Just know that.
At that point,
Chafe.
we weren't galing, but we were trying to run.
No, you wouldn't use your pole at gale.
Yeah.
But strong enough, right? Out on the ocean.
Oh yeah, we were still dealing with like 15 knots at
Yeah.
that point in time. The sea state was causing us to rock so much
Yeah.
that the rocking motion, everything was accelerated, right? Like the
Right.
seesawing of everything.
So.
And then it just fell and grabbed onto the sheet, luckily, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because we're already hooked onto the sheet.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you think of someone working up on the foredeck.
Well, that's the halyard that I went up
That
on.
you went up on, right? So.
The same halyard that I went up. I climbed up that halyard to fix our light.
The floodlight.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's why I want to replace that halyard, because it's kind of, when we have both sails up now, we used to have the spare jib halyard because the jib was a hank on, right? So I always had that halyard to go up.
Yeah. It's in
And
use now.
if the sails are actually running, like the main sail's up, so I can't use that halyard. The only halyard left is to go up that.
You better want to be able to trust your life to that
Yeah,
halyard.
so that's why I think we should replace that halyard. Since I trust it with my life when I'm climbing up there. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's all I have to say. Nothing quite like sitting in your living room, sailing there. Hey, hon?
Yeah, this is so fun. I finally get to play with a little pirate ship wheel.
The tiny
We
one.
never like steer from here, other than
It looks like a toy wheel.
it kind of does. It looks like one of those ones you'd see in the kids' playgrounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never actually sat here and sailed really. Like I sit here and just fiddle with the autopilot mostly, but to actually sit here and hand steer is kind of fun. And the only reason I am is because with a little bit of swell running and going at a really broad reach, I can accommodate or whatever, account for variances in course a little better than the computer does, right? The computer just wants to keep you on course, so it's doing a lot of rudder correction to keep you as close to your magnetic bearing that you've set, right? Whereas when you hand steering with a wide horizon, you can kind of follow each swell, so you can kind of run down a wave and then tack back up the wind a bit and run down a wave, and if you allow yourself a broader variance of heading, you can make a better speed over ground that way. So I do like to hand steer when I can, when I'm trying to make better time. The well-honed captain can definitely do better than a computer can for speeding your boat along. But it's kind of fun. I like my little pirate wheel. But I think we were just talking about like an improvement, so like a larger
More ergonomic one, maybe?
yeah, a nice big steel wheel right here, bigger than the one in the cockpit. The one in the cockpit's actually kind of fun. Everyone who's seen this boat, the first thing they say is, you need a bigger wheel, man. I like that small one because when we were really hand bombing that wheel,
Yeah.
I could get a lot of revolutions
You
on
could get hand over hand
quickly.
real quick.
Yeah, real quick, and that's important, and I've learned. But down here, a bigger one would be nice because I could actually sit here and sit back a little bit with my hands on the wheel. And but this little one, I gotta be kind of like a little
baby
bear on a tricycle right here.
You look like one of those circus bears on the little tiny bikes.
Yeah. Yeah, a big wheel here would be kind of cool. And actually maybe sail from down here in inclement weather as
Maybe.
we've experienced.
Yeah, we did want to try it that one day, but it was just you're not a fast enough response, you said.
Well, yeah, even last night I was trying it, and with just going off a compass heading, without a horizon and no stars, I couldn't do this. So I find I was trying to move too fast, and in that case, the computer can do a better job of just rudder corrections for staying on a course, right, than I can. But when I've got room to maneuver, this wheel will actually do the job just fine.
Oh, so I think this is the moment they say you wait for after doing a passage is being able to see land again. But this is so cool because it's not a scene that I would see back home in BC. Check it out. See if this picks it up. That there is a California coastline. Sweet. Those cliffs, man.
Oh, look at the whale breach. Oh my god. Yeah, huge breach.
Cruising, San Francisco.
What do you see there in the foreground, huh?
I see no fog, is what I see.
No
which
fog.
means I can see the whole California coastline.
And
Yeah. Golden Gate Bridge, y'all.
the Golden Gate Bridge.
Golden Gate Bridge, right over there. All looking all pretty.
Cool. Dog is like over the moon right now.
She can smell things. It's not just salt now. She's so happy.
She smells land. These pelicans are going crazy out here.
Everything's going crazy for a fish out here. Oh, gorgeous day. This is amazing. These birds are freaking hilarious. The pelicans are awesome. Seriously, if you can catch them diving, that is the most hilarious thing I've ever seen.